In today's edition of Mock Draft Monday, I'm going through a 10-team full PPR mock draft from the 2 spot. Let's go. What is up, everybody? Welcome into another Mock Draft Monday show. Today, like I said, we got a 10-team mock draft lined up for you all. Going to be going from the 2 spot. I don't necessarily have a strategy that I'm going to be doing. We have done some videos already on 0 RB, robust RB, 0 wide receiver. This one I'm just going to do it as if I were actually drafting this team. You don't want to necessarily go in hell-bent on a strategy. That's how you get yourself in trouble. So just gonna let the draft come to me. I'm just gonna take the best available players. I'm just gonna win a championship. That's the goal. That's what we're gonna do here. So using Fantasy Pros Mock Draft Simulator, we're doing 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, 1 flex, a defense, and a kicker. No surprises here. Christian McCaffrey, the first one off the board. This is a very easy decision for me. I'm going to go Dalvin Cook here at the 2 spot. I just think that everything is set up really well for him. We saw that they brought in no help at the wide receiver position outside of Amir Smith-Marset. They beefed up the offensive line with Christian Darrisaw in the first round. So for me, Dalvin Cook, I am locking him in. Just to run through some of these other names that were taken after that, we had Kamara go at 103, then Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Stephon Diggs, Jonathan Taylor, Travis Kelce at the 108. Devontae Adams came off at 109. My guy, Austin Eckler, at 110. Zeke, Aaron Jones, Tyreek Hill, Nick Chubb, Cam Akers, DeAndre Hopkins, Najee Harris at 207, Calvin Ridley at 208, and then we are back on the clock here at 209. Now, one thing I will say when it comes to 10-team, 8-team leagues, like your smaller leagues here, I do want to get the positional advantage. Depth isn't as important to me, one, because you have more players available to you on the waiver wire, so that's not necessarily I'm going to concern myself with. And 2, with smaller teams, every team is going to tend to be stronger. So I do want to have advantages at each position that I can possibly get. To give you an overall look here of what we're looking at, wide receiver, Justin Jefferson still sitting there. Running backs are coming off the board hot and heavy if you've done any mock drafts or looked at any mocks yet. The running back position is just getting absolutely gobbled up early on in drafts. I mean, we're looking at Mixon, Gibson, CEH here. Those are the guys that I'd be looking at. Since we have that pick coming up, those guys are all close enough for me that I don't feel the need to go running back. I'm actually going to go over here to Darren Waller. Like I said, I want that positional advantage. I think Waller is above Kittle this year because he's going to have the higher target share by far. I don't think Kittle's going to come anywhere near the 130, 140 targets that Waller is going to see. So we're going to go ahead, lock in Waller here after taking Dalvin Cook in the first. So pulling up the draft board and looking at this, obviously sitting here in the 3rd round, like I said, Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf just went off the board. At this point, only 7 wide receivers off the board, 2 tight ends, and we have 12 running backs. I'm going to go here. I'm going to look at the running back position. I like having that position locked up. I like feeling good about having my top 2 RBs. We are starting 2 here. Sitting here, I love Mixon. I love Gibson. But like I said, if I'm actually in this and doing this draft as if I were drafting today, I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire as a top 6 option on the season as things stand right now. So getting him as RB13 is an absolute steal here. Honestly, with Mixon and Gibson as well, but I can't pass up on Clyde at RB13 when I have him as a top 6 running back, and especially in a full PPR. They completely revamped that offensive line. They didn't really bring in anything in terms of competition for pass catching roles. So he is someone who I'm extremely excited to lock in there. We just have a massive run on wide receivers to start the 4th round. We have A-Rob, Terry McLaurin, Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Robert Woods, and Mike Evans, all coming off in a row, going from 402 to 408. Let's check out what this quarterback sitch looks like. Like I said, I want positional advantages, especially whenever we're getting down to the 10 and 8-team leagues. Looking at it, we have Kyler, Lamar, and Dak sitting there. Like I said, we just had 2 go at the end of the 3rd. I want one of those top 5, whether it's a 10-team, 14-team league. I think that there is a drop-off after these top 5 quarterbacks. And this year, I typically don't go early quarterback, but I want one of these top 5. I'm going to tempt fate and play with fire here a little bit, and I'm going to skip on quarterback. I can't do it at the end of the fourth. I'm not going to take one here coming up in the fifth either. So looking at running back, not a lot of names that are sticking out to me. I do like Carson and Sanders and Monty this year, but I'm not going to go there. Let's lock in our first wide receiver. And for me, this is another easy choice, going CeeDee Lamb. I have both him and Amari Cooper in my top 12 wide receivers this year. I think they were just going to absolutely ball out, both of those guys. Cowboys defense didn't get much better. There's still a lot of questions there. Dak obviously coming back. We know the pace that he was on to begin the season before his injury. So CeeDee Lamb is someone I expect to take a huge step forward. Through our first 4 rounds, we got 2 running backs, 1 tight end, and a receiver with Cook and Edwards, Darren Waller at tight end, and CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver. After I did that, Chris Carson and DJ Moore went at the 4-5 turn. And then following that huge run at wide receiver that we had in the fourth, we now have 19 wide receivers off the board. I'm going to lock in my wide receiver 2 here, and I'm going to go over to Cooper Kupp. We know in that Rams offense, the targets are super concentrated between him and Bobby Woods. They're both going to benefit from having Stafford there. I do prefer Woods, but he went at 407, but I will happily take Cooper Kupp here at 502. Kyler Murray was the next quarterback to come off the boards. Like I said, maybe I played with fire a little bit, maybe I did not, but it worked out for me. I'm just going to go ahead and get this stack here with CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to take Dak Prescott. I think he is one of just a handful of quarterbacks who could finish as QB1 overall. To get that stack there, that makes me super happy. I wanted one of those 5 guys. Got one of them with Dak. Moving on to the 7th round here, this team is looking balanced. Like I said, we have Cook and Edwards at running back. Darren Waller, that's locked up at tight end. I'm not even going to consider that position for the rest of the draft. CeeDee Lamb and Cooper Kupp here, back-to-back in the 4th and 5th rounds for us at wide receiver, and we already have our quarterback. So, again, quarterback, tight end, not considering it the rest of the draft. Whenever you take guys like this early, do not even think about taking these guys for the rest of your draft. From here on out, we're just going to be looking at loading up on running back, loading up on receiver, and filling out those bench spots and looking for guys who are going to give us high upside. So looking through the running back list, Myles Gaskin, obviously up here at the top, Mike Davis, ETN. Listen, Jags fans, what's Herb doing? Drop a comment. If you're a Jags fan and you're watching this right now, are you concerned with Urban Meyer? I just want to know how Jags fans are feeling. So drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Also, first-timers, if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to us. Moving over to wide receiver, I mean, if Aaron Rodgers ends up going to Denver, Cortland Sutton, and that entire offense just as a whole, everyone's ADP is going to shoot up. Have Chark sitting there. Again, Jags, I don't know. I mean, Tyler Boyd is my guy. Wouldn't mind having him as my wide receiver 3, someone who I feel like you can just count on week in and week out. Maybe his ceiling is a little bit hampered with bringing in Jamar Chase, but I still really like him this year. Just really jumbled with how deep wide receiver is. So I'm going to go back over to running back. Give me Mike Davis as my RB3. I have him as a back-end RB2. I think RB20 right now, but after him, there just weren't a lot of guys that I felt great with in terms of locking in touches and volume. With Mike Davis, there is nothing behind him. We know he's a very solid, very capable receiving back, so Mike Davis makes a ton of sense here at 702 in this 10-team league. And now we are back up on the clock. Like I said, I'm just going to do this for the brand here. Give me Tyler Boyd. Obviously, it looks like that Joe Burrow is going to be ready to go week 1. There was a lot of talk last year after that injury that, he might not be ready for the first half of the season in 2021. Now looks like he's on track to start week 1. That's obviously a high-octane offense with the addition of Jamar Chase. Joe Mixon getting a lot of hype as well. So having somebody like Tyler Boyd, again, in a full PPR league as my wide receiver 3, love that. Going to do that every time in the 8th round. Looking at who we have available here at wide receiver, like I said, I'm not even considering quarterback, not considering tight end. That is one of the things I actually like about taking those 2 positions early, if you're getting the right guy, is I'm not even going to consider them for the rest of the draft. We're looking at guys like Brandon Cooks, Jarvis Landry, Corey Davis. Visca is everyone's favorite breakout this year. AB's been starting to get some hype, and he's been moving back up draft boards. Let's check out running back here real quick. Chase Evans, Javonte Williams, Raheem, James Robinson again. Jags fans, let me know. I want to hear what you guys are thinking. If we are swinging for upside, like I said, guys who could potentially become league winners, I know I just took Mike Davis in the 7th. We're only starting 2 running backs in this league, 1 flex spot. I cannot pass up on Javonte Williams. Got to go Javonte Williams here. At some point during this season, whether it's week 2, whether it's week 6, Javonte is going to be the lead back over Melvin Gordon. The Broncos traded up in the 2nd round ahead of RB needy teams like the Falcons, like the Dolphins, in order to take Javonte. Melvin Gordon is fine. He's a fine running back, but he's always been a volume-specific running back. He's not particularly efficient. Javonte Williams could come in. He's going to take that over. Will he get 80% of the touches? Probably not, but I don't think he necessarily needs to. And, man, if Aaron Rodgers comes into the fold, watch out. And then after I took Javonte, there was a big run on running backs there. We can see that 9 running backs went after I took Javonte, and then we only had 6 wide receivers. But let's go over to wide receivers, see what that is shaping up and what that is looking like over here. For me, it's going to be between Visca and Michael Pittman. Obviously, we have another pick coming up here in 3 picks. I'm just going to lock up the guy who is going to be the wide receiver 1 for their offense without a doubt. I'm going to take Michael Pittman here. Maybe he doesn't get the amount of targets that somebody like Laviska Shenault will get, just because they are going to be in a worse situation in terms of their defense, going to have to be throwing more. But give me Pittman. If you can get a team's wide receiver 1 at the end of the 10th round, I'm going to do that every time. And then the fantasy gods are smiling upon me. They're shining down today. Laviska's still there. Not even going to go look at running back. We are locking in Laviska with that other pick. Checking out the wide receivers that are left. Not too many names that are just jumping out to me. See what this running back room is looking like. A.J. Dillon is the one they are recommending the most at a whopping 41%. Next up is Latavius Murray at 17%. And then it kind of starts to fall off after that, following Gus Edwards. A lot of those names, again, nothing too exciting. Same thing with wide receiver. There are some names that I like, but none that I feel like that I have to have over another. I'm actually going to go back to running back here. Gus Edwards is one of my favorite late-round running backs to target, just because of the offense that he resides in. I know that Baltimore has obviously put a premium on adding pieces to their receiving core. They're still going to be a run-heavy team. And if anything happens to J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards is going to vault up in terms of value. So then with that pick, I'm feeling pretty good about my running back room. What I want to do right now is focus on just getting some high upside, just absolute fence swings. And the one name that is jumping out to me, if we were talking hype, if we were talking guys who are just getting a bunch of buzz from the beat reporters and the team and everything else, let's go Elijah Moore. This dude has just been absolutely standing out, been getting hype the entire offseason, looking like the best player on offense and defense. Apparently, he is unstoppable in the red zone as well. He's making plays down the field. I think this is going to be a really nice connection with the rookies between Elijah Moore and Zach Wilson. He's someone who I am super excited about seeing how he does in this offense. And again, looking at that, that's a defense that has added some pieces. They're not as bad as they were a couple of years ago, but they're still not a great defense either. So there's going to be plenty of volume to go around. And I think they're going to use Elijah Moore just all over this offense. They're going to use him at every level of the field. So I'm super excited to see what he can do as a rookie. Now we have one more pick left before we are forced to take a kicker and a defense here. Let's just check out this running back group one more time to see if there's anyone that really stands out. I have been a Darrell Henderson hater, but he is a very interesting option here in the 14th round. You know, if anything were to happen to Cam Akers, there's nobody else behind Darrell Henderson. They got rid of Malcolm Brown. He is going down to Miami this year. He's someone who I might have to come back and think twice about, even though we have Edwards, Javonte, Mike Davis, Dalvin Cook, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I have not given up hope on Jalen Reagor yet. Rashad Bateman is somebody who I'm excited to see how they end up as a rookie. But if I'm sticking true to my word of just going for upside here, we got to go Darrell Henderson. If anything happens to Akers, like I said, Henderson's going to be the only guy in that room who's going to be able to go out there and get any sort of touches. And we have seen him be able to rip off some bigger runs as well. So not a pick that I am stoked about, because I have been a Henderson hater over the past couple of years. But in the 14th round, at the end of the 14th, at that, I'm fine with taking it. All right, last 2 rounds before we wrap this up. Again, appreciate you guys checking this out. Hit that subscribe button if you have enjoyed this mock draft at all at any point. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think of the team here. But again, defense, kicker, those are our last 2. In any draft, those are the teams, those are the positions I am waiting until the end to draft. That is no different here, whether it's an 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 team, whatever it is. Wait until the last couple of rounds. You're going to end up cycling through these guys anyway, so why spend the high capital whenever you can build up your bench and your depth there? I'm going to go ahead and lock in the Washington defense. They obviously took the linebacker in the first round to help solidify that linebacker core. They brought in William Jackson at corner as well, so let's go ahead, lock in Washington, and then whenever it comes back around, we're going to go ahead and grab our kicker here and finish things up. With kicker at this point, just look for teams that you believe in their offense. Look for offenses that you think are going to be good and are going to be in scoring position. That's literally the analysis as far as kickers go. Just look for the good offense. So we're looking at Prater in Arizona. We're looking at Ryan Suckup for Tampa Bay. Obviously, that offense is going to be good. Let's not even look any further here. Let's go ahead and take Matt Prater here. I like the Tampa Bay offense as a whole a little bit better, but I'm going to give the edge to Prater here because he plays in a dome. Simple. That's it. It's that simple. That's going to finish up. We got an 84 out of 100. You can see what the team looks like here. We got Dak. We got Dalvin. Clyde. We paired that stack with Dak. We got CeeDee Lamb. Cooper Kupp is wide receiver 2. Tyler Boyd is wide receiver 3. Flex is going to be between Davis, Javonte, Pittman. So we have some really exciting options there. Elijah Moore, if he can be the dude like we've heard with all this hype that he's got in the offseason. So I really like the way that this team filled out in this 10-teamer. Drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If there's any particular strategy that you want to see, any certain spot, anything like that, drop a comment, let us know, and we will be more than happy to help you guys out. So until next time, for myself, for TFA, we will talk to you all soon.